What's up, guys? Today's job, I'm going to be replacing this mailbox with a stone column. I'm going to be using pillar blocks by Techo Bloc. The new mailbox is going to be a 24 by 24 inch column and be about 48 inches high. You can see here I started off by excavating, and I didn't need to use the excavator for this, but the job was close by and I figured why not save myself a little bit of shoveling. What I'm doing first is I'm digging out a square. The square is going to be 36 by 30, and that's so I can have 6 inches of base on both sides as well as the back of the pillar. The front side of the pillar is going to be up against the curb. You can see here I just compacted everything, and I added my geofabric, and now I'm putting in my 3/4 modified. I used my plate compactor. I wanted to make sure it was nice and solid. You could use the hand tamperer. You just got to do smaller lifts. I put in a 10-inch base here. The manufacturer recommends at least 6 inches, but they say use some more if you're in a freeze-thaw area, which I am. This is Pennsylvania, so we go through a lot of freeze-thaw cycles. And then you want 1 course of block to be buried. So the total depth I dug down was about 16 inches. 10 for the base and then 6 for the first course of block. Now I'm screeding out and leveling the pad. At this point I got the pallet of pillar blocks already in the trailer, so I drug it over to the end so I don't have to carry them quite as far. I set all 4 blocks in there, and now I'm going through the leveling process. This is the same as building a retaining wall. You have to level these blocks front, back, side to side, and then make sure they're the same height with each other. And the more level your base is, the less hitting with the hammer you're going to have to do. So if you spend a little extra time making your base nice and flat, it'll save you some hammering time. I think I'm grabbing the glue from the truck. You saw I swept off the blocks. You want to make sure there's no dust on them. And I keep checking the level as I go up, wanting to make sure nothing changes. Techo Bloc, they make great products. The blocks are usually spot on, but sometimes you get a little bit of imperfection here and there, so that's why I keep an eye on it with the level as I'm building it. And this is a project for a homeowner or DIY. I mean, it's hard. These blocks are heavy and digging down is not easy, but if you're not scared of some manual labor, you could definitely do this on your own at home. The hardest part, I would say, which is coming up in a little bit, is doing the cutouts for the mailbox. Now, if you were just building a driveway pillar, you want to do 2 posts at the end of your driveways, then it's even easier because you don't have to do any cuts, right? You're just stacking and gluing blocks, and then you're putting a cap on it. You might be running electric to it. You could see there's a hole in the middle. If I was going to put a light on top, that conduit would have had to been trenched underneath and ran up the middle. And normally I like to have somebody nearby with a bucket of water just to keep the dust down, but it was actually really cold this morning. Well, I did this job like a week ago, but it was really cold that morning. It was like in the 30s and it was windy, so there wasn't anybody outside. No one has their windows open. You could see the dust is blowing away pretty quick. And I forgot my respirator in my trailer, so I'm just using what we know as a COVID mask now, right? Just that regular blue mask, but something's better than nothing. So I'm just making my measurements, notching out where I need to notch it out, and I need to make sure everything's right because I have the exact amount of blocks needed to build this pillar. So I can't make any mistakes. You know, you take your time. For me, they say measure twice, cut once. I measure like 3 times usually. Um, and this top one was a little tricky. I wasn't sure what I was going to do. If I was just going to put like a small block on each side and then its own piece right on top of the mailbox. But I ended up just notching it, and it has an overhang part. So it's all one block on the left side. You can see I had to make several cuts to get that piece out because I had to cut so deep into the block. I put it on there, and it's, you know, since there's so much weight to the right of it, it was kind of not level anymore. So I ended up getting some shims. I think I do that in a second. I shim up the right side. I got all the blocks off, dusting them off, getting the glue going. I glued the mailbox down, stacking all the blocks up there. And these are decent jobs, you know. It's expensive. You know, some people are surprised about the price of what one of these costs, but the materials alone are a little over $1,000. So, you know, if you got a customer, this guy, he has a paver driveway, paver patio, lots of stonework in the back. So he wanted something to match. Right here, I'm putting some sand down in the front of it, and you want to tamp down all the stone on the left and on all the sides on it. Like I said, you buried 1 course of block, and then I put a lot of stone on each side of it. You can see here I'm getting the cap on. This is really, I needed, that had to be a 2-man job. That cap was like 200 pounds. So it was a bit of a struggle, you know, for me to get it up on the edge of the truck like that. It was already in the bed of the truck on a pallet, so I stood it up and then muscled it up the side, and you saw what I just did to get it off. It was a lot harder than it looked in that time lapse. Right here I'm getting his numbers put in, you know, for his address. Just putting some concrete anchors in there. Getting it all screwed down. He provided those. I didn't know from the beginning that he wanted the numbers there. Originally we talked about he was just going to put a sticker on the mailbox, you know, like a silver numbers or gold numbers or something. But they picked these up. I put them up, no big deal. I did the same thing for the flag there on the right side, you can see. But there it is. That's the finished product. I hope you guys like it. You know, as usual, please give the video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.